Welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. I'm Wyatt.
Justin.
And Monty.
Today we're taking a look at the Cru Royale by Macanudo. Beautiful looking stick. Kind of simple, really. The band is, fairly eye-catching. It's blue, a little bit of black with a lot of silver. But yeah, overall the cigar is very, very firm. I mean, extremely firm. And we picked these up at our shop, and they've been sitting in the humidor there for a while, so I know there's not any humidification problem. But there is not one single bit of this cigar that's not just like brick hard, and I'm kind of worried about that. But overall, it's a good-looking stick. We've got kind of a modeled look to it. Seams are really well done. There's almost no overlap in them. Quite a few stems, and I've got a big chunk of wrapper here that's stretched kind of badly over another stretch. Whatever, we'll see if that's a blend problem. On the aromas, I get nothing on the wrapper. Honestly, there might be a little bit of like a cardboard type of smell, and I don't say that as a bad thing.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
that's it. And like I said, I don't say that as a bad thing. It's just kind of all that I get.
It's still kind of funny
it's it's definitely odd.
Yeah.
It beats how a clean hotel room.
Yeah, or passion fruit, or anything that Steve has said. And then on the foot, you were there for that one? Oh, that was great. Yeah. And on the foot, maybe a little bit of nuttiness and something almost tangy sweet, but I can't put a description to it. What do you guys think?
I agree. It's a beautiful, very dark brown, but yeah, I agree. Model. I have some places that are almost like black on the wrapper. A lot of little bumps. You can definitely tell it's hand rolled. Seams are done well, but they are visible. My pack is firm, not quite as brick firm, but definitely very, very firm. I agree on the aroma. There's not a lot off the wrapper. I can't say cardboard, but these two agree, so we'll go with cardboard. But to me, it's just very, very clean. And then off the foot, to me, I get like a sweet, not necessarily sweet tobacco, but like a sugary sweetness off the foot, but very, very faint. But oh, nice looking stick.
Yeah, I agree. Mine has a lot of stems, and it's like Wyatt's, just super hard pack all the way around the cigar. No stretch marks or anything like that. Nothing that's really concerning. It is modeled, like Justin was saying. It is got a few lumps here and there, but I've actually smoked this cigar before, and it's always pretty good to really good. I've never had a bad one. I did go through a box one time that the wrappers were kind of rough looking and not near as pretty as this, but they all smoked pretty well. As far as aromas, it's funny, I agree with what Wyatt said, because I was just sitting here thinking while he was talking, it smells like a box that I just pulled out of the mailbox in my house, like somebody shipped me something in a little cardboard box. And that's the exact aroma I got out of it. So, and off the foot, maybe a little bit of sweetness, maybe just some earthiness, but nothing really strong at all. Nothing stand out, nothing superlative for me. So we'll see.
Let's get, well, we've got it cut up. Let's get it lit up. See how it goes.
Oh, jeez.
Almost makes it mad enough to want to cut us.
If I can hear that music on the video.
I hope not. Yeah, there's some music playing in the background. We don't own it. We have no rights to it. Stephen Neighbor plays the music too loud.
For me, it's a very nice start. Really smooth. It's a little tougher to light and to get going than I wanted it to be, but so far it's off to a nice start.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's kind of a bizarre draw for me, because it seems like it's a really, really tight draw, but then I guess when you exhale, there's a surprising amount of smoke there. really a tight draw or a loose draw. But the flavors are really good. There's a nice little bit of spice. They're kind of sitting at the front of my tongue, and pretty much almost a bitter coffee, maybe a little bit of chocolate.
I agree with the coffee. Definitely the spice. Very tip of your tongue, a little bit of pepper. Sits around a while. It kind of dies into a nice, like dark bitter French roast coffee for me.
I'd agree with that too. Not much spice at all, but some definite coffee.
Yeah, it's very tight draw, but you get lots of smoke.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I don't know what that means, but
Hopefully it'll loosen up.
not a bad start.
Let's get into the first thing. See how it goes.
Oh yeah. We're about 10 minutes into this Cru Royale by Macanudo. You know, can't say I'm a huge fan of this cigar so far. It's really, really tight in the draw. Tried to loosen it up, and a big chunk of the wrapper just came up. And that was more my doing, but still, you know, the draw is really, really tight. It seemed like it was going to work out in the first couple of puffs, but I'm just not seeing it. You know, the flavors are good, but we'll see. I'm not too impressed so far.
Actually, I'm enjoying it. It's I don't want to say simple, but it really is kind of simple for me. The spice has died almost completely off. I still get that nice bitter coffee. But I'm kind of picking up kind of a woodsy note, very, very faint. But so it's got a little bit of dimension, but very simple. But so far, very good. Mild to medium, probably closer to mild in body and strength. My draw is a little bit tight, and I tried to use the poker, and I could hear some popping, so I kind of backed off with it. As I said, I didn't want to do full explosion, but it's okay. It's performing okay.
Yeah, I would agree. The burn on mine's been pretty good. I didn't want to mess with trying to put a poker in it or loosen it up a little bit. I just didn't want it blowing up on me. As far as the flavors I'm getting off of it, just as Justin said, some bitter type coffee, and other than that, not a lot else. You know, it seems like it's a tight draw, but then you do get some good smoke off of it. But to me, this seems really par for the course for this cigar. So I've had it several times before, as I mentioned. So just an all right start, nothing amazing.
Well, let's get into the second, third, approach the midpoint, see if we get any changes. Pounding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. We're about halfway through this Cru Royale, and man, this cigar has just exploded on me.
By your own doing.
By my own doing, but still, you know, burn problem after burn problem. You know, what I said, it was rock hard earlier. The draw never loosened up, and even so, I mean, it's just all over the place, destroyed, and the draw somehow is still tight. I don't know how that's possible. The cigar has mushroomed, but it's still got a tight draw. The flavors are good, though. You know, they're making it worth this for me, which is kind of surprising. But really, yeah, the construction has been bad, and the draw has been bad, possibly by my own doing. But the flavors are still good. I'm still getting a nice kind of bitter coffee, a little bit of spice. Really one note, but you know, it's a good note. So, except for the construction, it's not a bad cigar.
Yeah, I agree. It's I haven't had near the problems Wyatt has, but I haven't messed with it. As I've gotten into the habit of hearing some popping, and it's not mushrooms, you can tell it's expanding a little bit. So I'm afraid to take my band off because I think it would just explode on me. So you know, I'll keep an eye on that. Still around mild, medium in body, same in strength. I said it was kind of one-dimensional, kind of simple, but I'm going to take that back to a point. The spice has come back for me, though, like I mentioned. It's not really heavy. It's still faint, but it kind of sits on the tip of your tongue. So, you know, flavors are coming and going. Still, overall, a nice bitter coffee, and I know I am sucking down coffee. But this is a nice creamy coffee, and this is a definite, very dry, bitter, like a French roast dark coffee for me. It's very nice. But so far, doing all right.
I would say mine's doing pretty fair also. I didn't do any science experiments on it like Wyatt did with his, so mine is not blown up yet. I did take a little tiny Zycar poker and I poked a few places about an inch in from the head, and that helped quite a bit. But this cigar is still really super firm for having smoked more or less half of it. You know, a lot of times when they get hot, they soften up, but it's really firm. As far as flavors, Justin's talking about the spice coming back. I don't get that at all. Mine is just still some coffee and just some tobacco, and you know, a good amount of smoke considering how the draw is. But you saw me just now. I touched it up a little bit, but other than that, it's burned pretty true the entire time.
Well, let's get into the final third. See if we get any changes.
For the final third of this Macanudo Cru Royale, I really haven't enjoyed this cigar. You know, I've had construction issue after construction issue. It had a tight draw. The flavors were good, and it really depended on the puff, whether or not I was interested enough to keep going and fighting through this really bad construction. You know, I think if I might have gotten a bum stick. It seems like Monty and Justin, you know, have had pretty good construction, but it seems uniform that we've had a pretty tight draw on this cigar. I could see this being a good golf course type of stick, but really nothing else. You know, we're smoking this at the end of the day, and it just didn't have anything that kept me interested. I had issue after issue. So yeah, I would rate this a golf course stick. Our rating, you know, usually 5 is the lowest I'll go on a cigar that produces smoke. So I'll give this one a 5. I mean, it does produce smoke, it does burn, but for me it just wasn't enough to keep me interested. I had, again, issue after issue after issue. So I would rate it definitely golf course type of stick.
I had slightly better time with this cigar. For me, is overall it's mild, medium in body, same in strength. Flavors, mostly is just a nice dark, bitter coffee. Had a little bit of spice coming in, and a little bit of cedar that faintly came in at the very first half, but never really developed into much. Overall, it is relatively simple, but it's got a few. Like I said, the spice comes and goes. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think this is a good, kind of like an everyday knock-around stick. It's not really going to blow your mind. It's, I think it can work for the end of the day. I think it can work for the middle of the day. Maybe even morning. It might be a little heavy for the morning, but I think you could pull it off. Golf course task, I just think it's a good knock-around stick. If I was going to rate it, I'd give it a significantly higher. I'd give it a 7. I enjoyed it. I'd definitely smoke it again. But, you know, it's not a wow factor cigar, but nonetheless still a decent smoke.
You know, I mentioned earlier a couple times that I've smoked a bunch of these, and this cigar in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, has just about ruined me for this entire cigar. It started a tunnel. The wrapper hasn't burned worth a damn the last 15 minutes. Now it's just gone completely out on me. I've touched it up numerous times. It's gone completely out. I'm really unhappy with the way this cigar is finished. And when I say finished, you can see I've still got probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches that I could have smoked. But I'm tired of fighting the bad draw and the burn. It's gotten horrible, and it just went out. I was puffing on it real regular, and it just went out. Anyway, besides all that, it was really pretty one note. I mean, initially there was a little bit of spice like Justin talked about, but that went away super quick. I would say it's a medium finish for me. It's just a lot of coffee, bitter coffee, dark coffee flavors, and just some mild smoke and some mild tobacco flavors. I'm just going to go a 6 on this thing because frankly I'm just tired of fighting it, and it really was a bad example of this cigar. I've had this thing a lot better, a lot more often than this.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, smoke them like you got them.